With the bunker, the two biggest differences are, number one, the ball is going to be a little bit more forward, and number two, you're going to have more momentum going through the shot. Those are the two biggest differences in the bunker from the pitching. Here, you're not making contact with a golf ball. Over there in pitching, you're making contact with a golf ball, okay? Because you're not making contact with a golf ball, the sand offers more resistance when you hit through, so you've got to have more momentum going through. And that's why that's the reason for the difference in the bunker. When I have students practice out of the bunker, I always give them good lines, okay? Because we're in the bunker working on the technique. There's no reason why we should be trying the one that's buried or on no sand or on a downhill slope. They're struggling to hit a bunker shot with a good line. Let's get the confidence going first. Confidence comes from success. Hitting good shots over and over again, they become more confident. All right? So I want to kind of stack the deck in my favor and give them good lies. I watched Nick Faldo about 12 years ago at the Masters one day practice for about 45 minutes in the bunker on the Wednesday before the Masters. And every single shot he hit, watched it, went like this, smoothed the area out, gave himself a good lie again, hit, watched it, smoothed the area out, where his feet were, where he hit from, put another ball right there, hit again. 45 minutes, same process. When he was arguably one of the best players in the world at that time, he's doing it, it looks good for me, okay? He's working on his technique. He's not working on his trick shots. He's working on his technique. So, that's one thing that I do in the bunker, and I'll do it in pitching too, and I do it on the full swing. I'm not into, I don't get that lie on the golf course, so why are we hitting it like that? I talked about that yesterday. You're not on the golf course right now. We're working on technique. We're working on trying to get your technique better. Why should we make it more difficult than it already is? Okay? So, again, get your loft, and I get it always, just I'm holding on with my right hand and I set the face the way I want it to, whether it's like this or whether it's like this. And I get the loft, and then I take my grip, and I set the face square with the target where I'm going. I dig my feet in just a little bit, and that kind of helps you feel how much sand you have under your feet as well. That's another reason why you're doing that. Okay, and then I make sure that my students have some momentum coming through the shot. I mean, that shot was a greenside bunker shot that I followed through almost all the way through. I mean, it wasn't full speed, but it was a full follow through. There's lots and lots of times when I see students hitting shots in the bunker and they make a swing that looks pretty good, and it goes through and it stops right there, and they make good contact. Just didn't make enough swing, especially on the forward side of things. That'd have been great if I was right up against the edge and I was just trying to dump it out. Okay, and that's what you do when you're just trying to dump it out of the bunker. You hit a shot and you hold your finish right there because you're just trying to dump it out. But that's not the case with this shot right here. So I've got to make sure that there's some momentum, and I've got to make sure that the ball is far enough forward so I'm not going to make contact with a golf ball. And then I've got loft, and even if I don't have loft, even if I'm digging it out a little bit with the front edge of the club, I have to make sure that the angle of the club coming down is an angle that I can make decent contact with the sand. Okay? It's no good coming away from the inside. It's okay coming from the outside, but not where I want it to come from. Okay? So I can hit this shot even if the club face is more square, and use the leading edge just a little bit. It doesn't go as high. Comes out lower, but that's fine if the pin's a little farther away. I just have to make sure I have the right angle coming into the golf ball, and I have momentum going through the shot, not only with my arms, but with my body. I got to make sure I've got momentum coming through with my body. And as a general rule, people that are steeper in their descent into the sand and in the grass need more bounce on their club, and people that aren't as steep or shallow coming in need less bounce on their club. Okay? So that will, and now the way the bunkers are made, or the way that the clubs are made, that certainly helps. And I like the way the wedges are made now, where they kind of round off, you know, down here. That certainly helps with using the trailing edge of the club. But I always get in there and I give them the opportunity to hit good shots with good lies, and I make sure that they hold their finish, so they can see how their body is and see where their arms are. And if I get someone that's just not really doing very well at all, I'll build them a little sandcastle. And we'll just start with trying to explode the sandcastle. And do it that way, and then make the castle a little smaller and a little smaller and a little smaller to ease their anxiety with the sand. But you have to have momentum. You got to have momentum with your left side coming through. You have to have momentum with your lower body. You can't hit it and try and lift it up in the air this way. You got to keep moving forward.